TVC Classic changes. Same faction, battlegrounds, and more. Oh, good. Okay.
I'm gonna get my phone for alert so I can at least see. So, hold on.
Yo, what up? Can you guys hear me? Alright, so, oh, fuck, man. Today's been a real cock. I'm gonna say that. It's just been you look fucking defeated, dude. I look like, so fucking, here's what happened, right? Man. So, I had a, lightning hit my house, and it deleted my modem. I've been living like a caveman for hours, man. I haven't had any internet. I don't know what to do. I'm so upset. And so anyway, here's what happened. Basically, I call the internet honchos, and they tell me that basically what has to happen is I need to get a new modem because the bitch don't work. So I bought a new modem, and I have my PC connected to the modem. However, here's the difference. Right now, every time the modem will not connect to the router. I called the ISP, and they said there was an outage in my area. So I never really thought anything of it. But it turns out that there was an outage and there was something wrong with my computer. Like, I've been at this for like 3 or 4 hours. So like basically I had to drive to, I called them, so I call and I find out that my modem's broken because they can't connect to the modem at all. Then on top of that, I have to drive up to Walmart, and I bought this modem, a new modem, a third-party modem, and then of course it's $200. And now I got home, and I might have to go to Walmart again now to buy multiple 100-foot Ethernet cables to connect them. I'm playing New World tomorrow. Like I'm playing it. Doesn't matter what it takes. Like if this was like any other day, like you guys have to understand. Like if this was any other day, it'd be completely fine. Because I just tell people like I have a fucking service call like later on tomorrow, but like tomorrow is the release of New World. So like not only did my internet die, not only did my fucking modem get destroyed, not only did now I have to like fucking log on, and I have to do it tonight so I can pre-download the game because it's 30 gigs. And so now I cannot pre-download the game. And so as a contingency plan, I got Mizkif to buy the game, and if all things go wrong, I'm driving over to Mizkif's house tomorrow at 7 in the morning to stream. However, like if this was any other day, I would just fucking I'd be like, guys, sorry. It is what it is. You know, I can't stream, but Jesus Christ. All right, let me try and turn everything back on. I just don't see any way that this night doesn't end in me driving up to Walmart and spending another like $400. Basically, I'm just gonna turn off the stream. I'm gonna call them.
Boys, today is the day that I've been waiting for almost a year. I am excited enough that let's go ahead. Y'all wanna hear a little bit of a story? You wanna hear a little bit of what's been going on with your boy for the past 24 hours? Well, guess what? I've been just getting fucked in the ass by a carousel of dicks. You ever wonder whenever the planets make a fucking, there's like a, you know how the planets line up? It's called like an eclipse or something like that. Well, it feels like all the planets lined up to create like an intergalactic, interstellar, interplanetary dildo to fuck me in the ass. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Because we figured it out. We're back online. And you know what? Shit is not fixed. It's ghetto fixed. Which is, to be honest, whenever you're talking about me, that's the best kind of fix that you can expect. But gentlemen, if you thought that there was going to be anything taken me away from cutting down my blue trees. Oh, you are sorely mistaken. So basically, here's what happened. So I'm over at my desk, right? I'm playing the game. I'm chilling. I'm just, complaining about something that happened, I don't know, a long time ago. Nobody cares about on my second stream. It's what I do. And so anyway, it's raining, and then it starts raining a lot, and it's like, oh fuck, this really raining, and then a fucking lightning bolt fucking comes down. And I'm like, right there, bro. Like, I don't know if it really hit, but I know my entire window turned white. Like, everything turned white. The lights went off. Everything was gone. And whenever it came back up, the internet was dead. And then I decide to walk down to the store. This is the best part. I walk down to the store, and this is whenever there was the internet outage. Bro, everybody was outside. Like, there was people walking their dogs. There was like 50 people walking their dogs. Other people were down at the park. Dude, they were just having a good time. They were hanging out. Everything was totally okay. And so it was so funny because it actually unlocked people from their technological prisons, and they're all out there doing stuff and going outside. And so I'm going down to the store. I get a drink. I'm talking to my dad. So I was building up a contingency plan, right? Because the second best case scenario here was I was probably going to drive over to Mrs. house this morning and just stream over there, but luckily I didn't have to do that, and I'll explain why. But then I was also talking to my dad, and I was just going to get like a piece of plywood and just fucking put my setup over at my dad's house, but I didn't really want to do that. And later on, I call up the ISP again, and they're like, oh, yo, the internet was fixed. That shit was fixed. I'm like, that's crazy, because my shit's still broken. So everything's fixed for everybody except me. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just a little interesting turn of events? And I call, and I'm like, whenever you call them, right? Here's a little tip. Whenever you've got a problem with the with the people, is you press random buttons, like especially zeros and pounds. Pressing zeros and pounds over and over and over. Act like a person who's 85 years old and doesn't know how to use a cell phone. And if you do that, they're gonna have somebody on the line to help you in like 5 minutes. So anyway, that's what I do. And so I finally got hooked up with somebody, and they told me that basically my modem was broken. And I could have figured that out myself, to be fair, because whenever I plugged it on, nothing happened. The only difference between my modem and a rock was that a rock was probably more useful. My modem was effectively, it was downgraded into a rock. And I tried to plug it in, I tried to do other stuff, and nothing really worked. And then I'm on the phone with them, and I realize that I can go and just buy like an aftermarket modem, right? And so I'm like, all right, or not aftermarket, but a third-party modem, and then they can authenticate it with the MAC address. So I'm like, okay, great, that's good. I'll just go over to Walmart and buy one. So I drive over to Walmart, and this is where I got the shirt. Okay, I got this over at Wally World. So I go and I buy a modem, and I buy, admittedly, the most expensive one. I'm like, okay, I want the most expensive modem. I want to buy the most expensive one because it's a business expense, and at the end of the day, I figured more money, better modem. And I don't know this, right? I'm not a modem expert, okay? The last time I did networking was whenever I was in high school, and that was, back whenever people were cavemen. And so anyway, this happens, and I come back home, and I call up the ISP again, and of course it's a different person, because you can never have a line of contact at a company. Like, if you have a customer service contact, you can't do that. So you have to just kind of deal with a random person, and so you have to pick a name out of the hat, and the next name out of the hat was like Charlene or Trinity or something like that, and she actually was really, really chill. This is the second person that I talked to, and you guys will see why I'm giving y'all numbers here. Okay, so I go ahead and I call back, and they authenticate the modem, and then I plug everything into the router, and then the router and the switch that I have. I'll let you guys know something. I have a switch back there for all of my devices up in this room, and that switch I bought that switch to split my Xbox and my first computer back in 2004. I have had that switch ever since then. I have had that for literally the majority of my life. And they're gonna tell me that it doesn't work? Bitch, the light comes on. it does work. And then on top of that, the router wasn't working, and I said, you know what? That's a problem. And I was 100%, yeah, it was a 10 megabit. Oh, it's been working, all right, it's been working. And yeah. And that switch is literally 16, 17, probably like, it's like 15, 16 years old, realistically. And so anyway, I'm like, okay, well, you know, what are the odds that the router and the switch both broke? And they broke in a way that's not power related, and that way is no longer allowing them to connect to the modem. That is a problem, intrinsically to themselves and not a larger issue of an unrelated thing. So, you know, I've done a lot of tech support, like, you know, problem solving stuff before. And so, like, I kind of understand how this works, right? Is you want to find a common denominator and then you want to figure out what it is. I checked the cords, everything like that. I did all the obvious stuff. And anyway, so then I called them up again. I said, this shit ain't connecting to the router. And they said, okay, unplug it and plug it back in. I said, oh, thank you so much. This is the third person. Thank you so much, Charlene. Thank you. That is, oh my God. Yeah, thank you so much. You know, I really didn't know that, and I'm just so glad that you were able to give me this knowledge and allow me to ascend to the higher level of networking ability. And so I do this, and of course nothing happens. And then she's like, well, turn the router off and turn it back on. I'm like, that nothing happens then too. And so anyway, the end result is that I have to have two 100-foot cables, and one of them is going all the way downstairs to my modem, and it's going all the way to this computer. And then I've got another one. It's like two gigantic fucking, it's like two gigantic hydras or snakes, right? And they're going all the way up here. But the problem is that I don't have two 100-foot cables. But what I do have is 10 different connectors. So I have this shit rigged up, and it's connected all the way through like 5 different connectors. And anyway, I've got all this set up, I got all this good, and everything is okay. I streamed for like an hour yesterday on my second stream, and everything was okay. Now, y'all gotta understand that whenever I am not a problem solver, I am a problem avoider. And the best possible case for me solving a problem is for me to create a situation in which I can ignore it. So it's not about, you don't fix the problem, right? You just ghetto rig it to where it doesn't matter. And that's the way that my brain works. Like, I'm like, okay, what is the easiest and fastest way for me to avoid this problem? And then I do that, and I push it off into the corner, and I never think about that bitch again. And so that's what I do. What's this here? He broke up with me. Boys, my modem broke. I'm gonna be honest, I was at a low point last night. It was a bad time. It was a time that was the opposite of good. You know, they said it's the best of times, it was the worst of times. This was the worst of times, and it was also the worst of times. It was just really, really fucking bad. It sucked dick. And so, yeah, that's about where I was at. It was awful. I was so mad. And yeah, that's all it is.